Robbie, thank you very much for joining us here in lovely Melbourne at Collingwood's lovely training facility here. You're one of a number of European-based players that have come back. Have you found your adjustment coming back to Australian sleeping patterns and to life here in Australia?
It's been good. I was fortunate enough to get my game was early in the week for the last game of the winter break. So I got here on the 22nd, I think. So it's good to have a few days at home with the family, and obviously we don't get to see our family and friends so much. So a couple of days was good to relax, and obviously we're back into it now. So getting used to the time difference, and obviously the weather's a lot warmer here than it is in Europe. So it's been good, and it's been a good first 3 days of training. So some of the boys are still arriving, but the core group's here. So it's been intense and it's been good.
Kruse looking to get on the score sheets. Oh, he has! And finally the goalkeeper's made a mistake.
Now, Robbie, not so many goals for the Socceroos in recent outings, and despite having only scored a couple of goals for the national team, you come into this camp as the 4th highest goal scorer of this Socceroos lineup. How much of a responsibility are you, I suppose, willing to bear in terms of getting the Socceroos their goals at this Asian Cup?
Yeah, of course, for me, I always want to score. Obviously, every striker does, but it's also difficult to look into the statistics and everything of this. I think I got 35 caps now, but I think for the first 20, I think I was on the bench and just playing 10 or 15 minutes at the end of the games under. When I first come into the national team at the Asian Cup, last Asian Cup, and with Holger, and so obviously it's difficult to score in those short times. And the last 10 or 15 I've started, majority of them. So obviously I need to start scoring more and need to take more responsibility, as do the other players. And obviously it's much talked about Timmy scoring a lot, and if he keeps scoring and winning us games, it's not going to bother any of us. Obviously we want to help out and do what we can. So I think this is a good platform for me personally to really take my game to another level, and particularly with missing the World Cup and the disappointment of that, and not being able to experience that the high of going there. So this is my tournament to kind of right the wrong of that, and to hopefully put my name back in and around on the big time here in Australia, and I'm looking forward to it.
And finally, Robbie, you kick off that Asian Cup tournament here in Melbourne. You were so successful here with the victory. Does this feel like home to you, and does that stadium in particular give you some positive omens ahead of that first game against Kuwait?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, Victory is my favourite club here in Australia, and one I'll only come back to play for if I come to Australia. So I had great memories here, and Amy Park was a great place for me to play. I scored 15 goals or so in my season here. So it was enjoyable, and I can't wait. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of Melbourne Victory fans in the stadium, and it's going to be a pleasure to be able to play in front of them, along with my friends and family. So we have a lot to do until that first game and a lot of preparations, but I'm sure the whole squad and the team will be ready to perform on that night.
Well, Robbie, we hope so. We thank you for your time today here at Collingwood, and we wish you all the best for the opening game against Kuwait on the 9th.
Thank you, Benny.